Tonight on SmackDown Live AfterBuzzTV After Show, there's a SmackDown Live AfterBuzzTV After Show because we're back. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
El ídolo. No need to fret or worry, anybody. We are back and we are live on AfterBuzzTV.com, the AfterBuzz TV YouTube page, iTunes, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it, we're on it. Like, subscribe, tell your friends and your foes about the world of AfterBuzz TV as we break down SmackDown Live. Happy New Year! I'm probably the 10,000th person to tell you that. Welcome to AfterBuzz. I am Christian Rosenberg. Whole gang's here. Celebrating. We're back and better than ever. Over here we got the lovely Miss Gabby Loren.
Happy New Year!
What the
You guys,
hell was
I
that?
missed you all. Before I said Merry Christmas, you filthy animals, and a Happy New Year. And I wish that to you guys as well.
And next to Gabby, the equally lovely Tom Connolly.
Yes. Yeah, I guess it's Happy New Year.
I mean, we're only a few days into the new
I know,
year.
but it's only
We're on the
Happy
8th?
January 8th. Okay?
Happy January 8th, guys. I have a rule, personally. I feel like after the 5th, you stop wishing Happy New Year. I feel like that's enough of a time span.
I think it kind of depends, yeah.
Who gave you the authority
it
to
depends
say
what you're
after the
doing,
5th
or
it
like,
doesn't matter?
you know.
I'm not saying I have the authority. I'm just saying that's my personal rule.
Okay.
Whether or not
Well, you
use
just
it.
broke it.
My rule's after the
I
second
know.
you don't say it. Because it
After the
only
second?
happens the first. Happy New Year. First day of the New Year.
By the way, you want to know a complete random fact that I looked up?
Yeah.
So obviously, what's the most common New Year's resolution? Want to lose weight?
Yes.
January 2nd is National Buffet Day. I'm not kidding. That is an
Man, I
actual
missed it
thing.
this year.
I know.
That's crazy.
I don't know why. But hey, we're back. We had 3 weeks off, which was just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know what to do with myself because literally, it's been years that I'm like have to type and give myself notes while breaking down SmackDown. And for 3 straight weeks, I'm just watching it and.
Well, you just
I
kept
don't have a
sending us,
mic.
you
I
kept
don't have a
sending us
mic.
texts of like,
I was bugging them. I was
videos
annoying
of
them.
you being like, welcome to After
I needed to
SmackDown."
talk to somebody. I needed to talk to something in front of my face because it's all I know. But it's great. It's great to be back. It's great to be back with you guys. And we're now on the road to the Royal Rumble. Just like that.
I know, but so much has happened over the last 3 weeks.
By the way, yeah, we got a few weeks, I guess, to catch up on stuff.
New champion.
We have a new United States champion. Mandy Rose is a homewrecker.
Yeah.
And
Not yet.
Well, just getting there.
by the way, while I was gone, I got this lingering cough that will not go away. So if you hear me cough during the show, I apologize. That's the thing that stuck with me from 2018. So the show starts this week with Daniel Bryan. Like the crowd is cheering, all right, SmackDown starting, and we're just kind of wondering what's happening. And we cut to the concession stand where Daniel Bryan's out there surrounded by fans talking about how, you're eating all this, crap in the concession stand.
This was amazing.
Because you're filling your void of your empty lives. First off, I want to say the food served at the concession stands is not the problem. It's the prices at the concession stands at the arenas.
I would say it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I'm not
$5 for a
gonna hate
bottle
on
of water.
hot dogs.
I was at Staples Center this past Sunday. $5 for a bottle of water.
How
That's a
much
bit
is, like, a hot
excessive.
dog?
Like $9.
Oh my god.
Oh, I would have thought it would have been more than that.
You could buy a pack for like $3.
Yeah.
I have 8.
Yeah. He then kind of walks around. There's these couple of fans eating hot dogs. He grabs one of them, throws it at him. Another guy takes his soda, throws it at him.
I loved how he talked about the plastic cup and the plastic straw.
And the straw.
That was great.
Oh my God, super hipster Daniel Bryan. And then he goes to the merch table, and no Yes Movement t-shirts because the Yes Movement's dead. But look at all this AJ Styles gear. And then he walks through the crowd and just talking down AJ Styles. And the commentators do mention, like, as he starts entering the arena, he's supposed to be having a match with R-Truth. He finally gets down to the ring, and R-Truth shows up and just decks him. And then they proceed to have their match. Daniel Bryan gets to win with a running knee. But it was definitely the shortest match of the show, on the shorter side, which was fine. But obviously the story was this build-up promo, this very different way to start the show. Mm-hmm. And then at the end, AJ Styles shows up and attacks Daniel Bryan from behind. And Daniel Bryan has to run off while AJ's being held back by security. What a unique way to start the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it when they get creative and do something different. Of course, we've seen concession stand brawls before or angry wrestlers, but it's always fun to see Daniel Bryan, especially in this new character, really like involving the audience and doing something different just to like kick it off and then to involve R-Truth and then AJ Styles, which AJ was furious, and it was so fun to see him almost like hit the backup, you know, like the security and the refs that were all crowding around him when he was going to go after Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan kind of like cheated and got off stage.
Yeah.
That was really fun because it's like AJ's character is so nice and respectful and all about like respect, and this is the house that AJ Styles built. But then the second he does something like crazy, it's kind of refreshing because you could see how he was about to like hit the chair over someone else because of how angry he was. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, because you know, obviously, what was that, like 2 weeks ago, where Vince confronted him in the back?
AJ, yeah.
and he, like,
the first week that we were gone was when AJ Styles punched Vince McMahon in the
Someone
face.
tweeted us, and I was like, did that really happen? Like, I really thought they were joking that happened. I was like, no way. I was like, why are they gonna put that on like a random show? And I was like, I watched it. I was like, wow, that actually did happen. Yeah, I mean, this is what Vince wants out of AJ. It's kind of almost a little weird though, where I feel like we're getting a lot of parallels on both shows because we're kind of getting
we got Rollins being aggressive.
Doing the same thing.
That's true.
Where it's like, I get it, but I mean, it's different show, different guy. Let's see how it plays out. But I like AJ when he's like that though. It's you know, he's got that fire under him again after, you know, having the belt forever, and now he wants it back. So
I'm gonna challenge you guys. I'm almost wondering if like these little things that we're seeing in AJ's character are going to turn into maybe a heel turn at some point. And you know his contract's coming up, the expiration in April 2019. So if he doesn't renew, could this be like WWE's way of kind of making him turn and then leave?
I mean, here's the thing. If he definitely, you know, acknowledged to them that he would be leaving, then they're going to do an injury angle and keep him off TV to do their best for people to forget him.
yeah.
They're not going to make him.
They won't give him any sort of like conclusion.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't do that. If he was suddenly leaving, I don't foresee him leaving.
No, I don't think
he was
so.
literally just the cover of their video game.
Right, but it seems like he actually does want more like time off. And WWE doesn't usually always give it to people, except for people like Cena and Lesnar.
But I think he's earned that time. Like if you watch
Bryan doesn't have that schedule that AJ has.
If you watch the documentary that they did on him, like he was like 365.
Yeah.
Where it's like he's on the road constantly, and like he kind of talks about it of like not being able to see his family and stuff. And I think he's at the age where he wants to see them. He deserves to be off. Like he cannot be on house shows. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they have a big enough roster.
Or not every house show. I mean, like, because he is on most house shows. So, I mean, they can make an arrangement for a lighter load.
Say he has 2 weekends off a month, and he does TV on Tuesday.
I'm fine with that.
Like, I mean, we're not going to the house shows every week. You know what I mean? But I mean, that happens. They're not at every week. I think it's a nice thing, and it's also gives them time to rest their bodies. Like, it doesn't make sense for them to be at every show all the time. Well, especially if some of them just sit there and do nothing.
Right. AJ is the third most, I guess, top seller for merchandise in the business for WWE. So to him, or to WWE, he is a hot commodity. He is what helps push their revenue, right? And income.
So let me flip a question to you then. Do you think if he worked at a few less live events, non-TV, that would affect his merchandise sales?
I think it could, because people,
I don't see how it would.
People tend to get upset and angry when people take more time off and they don't see them week to week.
But no, there's Brock Lesnar time off where you're there 5 times for the entire year.
Versus
okay, maybe not be at 2 or 3
Yeah.
2 or 3 less house shows per month.
Give me an example of another wrestler doing that right
Daniel
now.
Daniel Bryan, he's the champion.
Okay.
I mean, obviously Cena is a special circumstance. Randy Orton has a limited schedule.
Daniel Bryan's
I think
around
Rey
a lot.
Mysterio has a limited schedule.
I can see
think-
Nakamura with a limited schedule.
I think
That's
it's-
because he's not in the storyline.
well, he has one now.
Doesn't
Now,
matter.
yes.
But
But
he's still a superstar with a
Yeah.
with not the full range of schedule.
Right, but it depends. Was it his choice or was it WWE's storyline choice? They're two different. things.
That would be part of the. No, if you're under contract and they want you at a live event, doesn't matter if you're in a storyline or not. Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley are in every
Oh, you're
live
talking
show.
about just regular live events. I'm just talking about like the show every week on network TV.
Oh, like
and
Smack-
and he'll be there, maybe an occasional week off, but he'll be there most weeks still.
Yeah.
The lighter schedule would be for the live events.
I think if they feel that it could affect merchandise sales, that they would not be okay with it. But
Right, it's not gonna.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And I think he'd be fine with it. I'm sure he's making plenty.
Yeah, he's doing okay. We have tag team match: Rey Mysterio, Mustafa Ali versus Samoa Joe and Andrade Cien Almas. It was weird because, as great as this match was, there were a few awkward miscommunications in it. I don't know if you noticed them. Like there was a point
Yes.
earlier in the match
I
where
noticed.
Mustafa was drop kicking Almas, and it's supposed to be like Joe's trying to tag Almas, but then he's almost supposed to be drop kicked into Joe, and I don't know if Joe wasn't in place or all of a sudden you see him trying to talk to Almas about like, hey, you gotta get another drop kick so then they could do it again for him to fall off the apron. And then, like, towards the end of the match, when Mustafa Ali's getting ready to do his 450, he's running turnbuckle, doesn't realize that Joe is on the other side and has to run to the other side and climb that turnbuckle. But this match was still insane
Yeah.
by all 4 of them. And maybe the first time ever on WWE television, we had a Canadian destroyer.
Yeah.
And it was like almost like a springboard Canadian destroyer by Mysterio onto Almas. And it looked amazing.
Yeah. I mean, all these guys are like WWE top favorite wrestlers for many people. I did notice a few of those awkward moments, and I'm not sure if it was like communication issues or like memory issues, if it's choreographed. But there was a moment with, and I don't think you mentioned this one, where Mustafa Ali was approaching, was it Cien Almas? And he kind of hesitated. And Almas just like pushed him along into the rope on the other end, and then they carried out a move after that.
Yeah.
But it was almost like a second of hesitation where they didn't know quite what they were going to be doing, and then moved on from there. But
Yeah.
there was a few of those moments.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I like that, kind of building off of the last couple weeks again of now, like last week especially, now we have Joe and Ray seeming to be feuding, and we have Ali and
I would think more
Almas.
so. Well, I would think based on what happened tonight, it'd be
Almas
more
and
so
Ray?
What and Ray.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
they
what
may change it, but yeah.
I've wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, I mentioned on our last show
Yeah.
that was one of my favorite matches of the year. Was the time when the two of them squared off.
Yeah.
On SmackDown.
I mean, I don't care. All 4 of them can just have a match. You know
Sure.
what I mean? Like,
that's fine.
either way, I mean, I like the idea of having Ray against Joe because I think that'd be an interesting feud to see. Because I mean, I'm guessing Joe and Hardy is over. Like that kind of.
Yeah, that kind of just ended.
Yeah, he just like beat him.
Yeah, and that was
okay.
that.
Yeah.
New year, new stories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm fine with that. And then, yeah, I mean, Ali's been amazing.
And the other key thing is Almas won a match,
yeah,
which has not happened in quite a while, and a big win pinning Mysterio. So now, where are they going? What are they going to do with that next week? Is the question. Okay, you finally got that win. Are we going to brag that we beat him? Are we going to continue with Ali? Are we just going to push it saying I can beat anybody and someone else comes out? Who knows?
can we have a triple threat with the 3 of them? Like, I love Joe, but we can have Joe not go against someone else. I think the 3 of them in that match would be incredible. Can you imagine 3 of them?
Jeez.
I mean, I like the idea of just Rey Mysterio and Andrade Cien Almas having a storyline just because they're both like Spanish or Latin wrestlers, I should say, Latin wrestlers. So it makes things very interesting, because they come from like similar backgrounds, I guess, or they represent similar things.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to see that storyline.
I agree. You know what else I like to see?
Just if it was like two Samoan Joes, or not two Samoan Joes.
Two Samoan Joes. Two Samoan Joes.
Like his
Run
twin.
for your lives.
No, two Samoans like actually against each
We
other
had that,
in a
though.
storyline recently.
We did have that. Yeah.
But I mean, like
Jimmy
now.
versus Jay.
No, not brothers.
I meant Joe versus Reigns, but
Yeah.
okay.
Well, yeah, but I mean, right now in,
Yeah.
in our roster.
Gotcha.
I don't remember what I was saying to do my segue, but I was doing
You
a
know
segue.
what
to,
else is?
What else is what? I don't remember
I don't
what it
know what you're
was.
saying.
I had it. These
Fill in the blank.
segues are natural. You don't understand.
Sorry.
You're losing it. First show of the year. It's not.
Yeah,
it's
you're
not
not-
Segway City anymore.
But you know,
Fall it off.
but you know what
Out.
we never lose? Our fans and our great listeners who watch all of our shows and listen on iTunes and Apple Podcasts and Spotify and everything. But you can always give us advice, give us suggestions on what we can do to make these shows better. And Tom's going to tell you how.
I am AfterBuzzers. It's 2019, so get your priorities in order, okay?
Yes.
This is what you're gonna do.
Wow. Okay.
Bossing them around.
Our network produces after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows, from dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more. There's no network that works harder to serve television fans. But we need your help, and this is what you're going to do, okay? Well, you can help us. I guess, I don't know. We're asking you to please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and that'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they're optional. You hear that? Optional. We're optional. Optional. So hit the subscribe button now for this channel, and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did in the comments, and we'll thank you on air. For now, thanks for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk. Woo!
Yeah.
That sounded great. Way to bring in the new here.
Throughout the show, we have quick little promos by Carmella, Becky, and Charlotte to hype up their triple threat match in the main event. First one was from Carmella, reminding people of what accomplishments she had over the earlier part of 2018. Nice little promo reminding people of, hey, she was legit. She wasn't just a dance break girl. Like she was the face of the women's division on SmackDown for the first half of 2018. From there, we have a little promo with Shane and Miz. Miz is angry that the Usos are getting a shot to possibly have a tag team title shot. He feels that him and Shane should. And Shane said, well, we gotta scout, we gotta study, we gotta work as a team. And Miz is like, no, you're Shane McMahon. You could give us a title shot. This is what McMahons do. And Shane's like, oh, this is what you want. And it's like, well, we should do it. And Shane's like, no. It's such a weird relationship between those two.
Yeah, but I was kind of sad that we weren't here to talk. Like, the promo Miz did, was that last week? Where he got Shane to be on his team?
No, I think it was
the
the
week before.
Week before about his dad.
Yeah, that was incredible. Like, that was so good. That whole promo.
Because
Like,
he's a great actor.
I know, but it was so real. And like, I mean, if you've seen Miz and Mrs. or like Total Divas, like that is how his dad is. Like,
Mrs. Dad is not that.
No.
He's not like that at all. He's kind of goofy.
Well, no, but he's like, oh, I love The Rock more than I love you.
Oh, yeah,
Mike.
that stuff.
Like, you know what I mean, like that kind of stuff. Where you're like, wow, thanks, Dad.
Well, now you know where Miz gets his humor from.
Yes. No, his dad wasn't being funny.
Well, I think that's funny though.
I think
I think it's funny, but his dad was not being funny.
It's best when you're not trying to be funny that you're funny.
Yeah.
So.
But I just thought that was a great promo by The Miz. It really, he laid it out to where you were like, okay, I understand. Like, why he would want Shane on, like why Shane would actually agree to be on his team.
Yeah.
So it worked out well, and they're probably gonna win the belt.
Promo from Rusev talking about how last week Lana got hurt because of Nakamura. We missed that too because we weren't here.
She didn't really.
I know
get
I'm the
hurt.
Bulgarian brute with a body of 1,000 Hemsworth brothers, and he was also wearing his wedding ring. Which he never does when
he
he's
was
in
out
the
there
ring.
as a husband.
Out there as a husband. Calls
as a
out
champion.
Calls out Nakamura. Nakamura's in one of the production trucks. He knows enough English to direct the people in the production truck on when and what video to air. And they replay the video from last week. Nakamura says, not my fault. Rusev was the one who crushed Lana. Rusev runs to the back to try to find Nakamura. Nakamura cuts him off and beats him down, hits a Kinshasa. And, I mean, other than when Nakamura feuded with AJ, this is easily the best feud that Nakamura has been in.
Correct. I like the him getting the upper hand on Rusev and like having like that backstage brawl kind of thing. And then, it was
he wants his title.
Yeah.
First time he's really acknowledged that he wants that title to begin with. But it's like, all right, here's a legit feud involving the US title, involving two guys that should be having feuds with lots of people, haven't really been getting them. And it's turned into a very entertaining mid-card feud.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even involving Lana, who's getting better all the time.
Yep.
I'm just loving this. I think that they're really working with people that deserve to have storylines and using them all, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And Rusev is looking great. He seems like he lost some weight even
He
over
does
the
look like
holidays.
he does look like he cut
very
some
handsome
weight.
looking.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, the body of 1,000 Hemsworth.
Yeah.
It's like once you don't see somebody for a little bit and then you see him again, you're like, oh, wow. You notice things that you didn't notice because you see him every day. And that's what I noticed. So, good job,
Well, it's been a
Rusev.
few weeks since we've seen me and Tom. Anything you noticed, Gabby?
Yeah, that you guys are looking more handsome.
Oh,
thank you.
thanks.
Just saying. But not more handsome than Kevin Owens.
I would never have thought.
I would probably fall over if you said I was. I'd be like, something's wrong with Gabby.
Something's
guys.
clearly wrong with Gabby.
I don't know what
She's
happened
losing
in
it.
the last couple of weeks, but
She has lost her sense of sight.
Or mind.
That both. Quick Becky Lynch promo again with like the things talking about how the triple threat match is just a formality. Asuka's gonna have to do a whole lot more than climb a ladder if she plans on beating me. Nice, simple. Becky Lynch is the man. Period. We get the Mean Gene video tribute that they aired on Raw. I don't know if it's just because it's the most recent, but I feel like every time they do a video tribute, they get better and better and better and better. This tribute was so great, and I am by no means for Hulk Hogan being back on Raw like he was last night, but the promo thing he did after the video tribute, talking about like the tag matches going on, I loved that. I thought that was fantastic.
because it was just kind of sweet and to the point.
Yeah.
And, like, he didn't have to really, he wasn't selling anything except for Hulkamania shirts.
Well, and that I don't blame him.
Well, no, I mean,
I don't blame him for that.
at all. No way.
I don't understand why the WWE, within 5 minutes after that, started tweeting out, oh, by the way, Hulkamania merchandise is back.
Yeah.
Really? That's the time you do it?
Yeah. Why not put like a, hey, get 20% off by putting Mean Gene in the code?
It's nice to see even these recap videos when they do tributes to those that have passed, because you get to see, like, the evolution of WWE and also what these interviewers were able to do back then. Like, right now, it's very, like, scripted and to the point, and this is what you're going to say without much personality.
Yep.
But, like, Mean Gene was a huge personality in WWE, and I wish we had that today more.
He would, and I mentioned this a little bit on the After 83 Weeks podcast, which you can be able to download tomorrow and see on the 83 Weeks YouTube page when we talk with Eric Bischoff about it. But Mean Gene is he was our tour guide. That's what I classify him as. He was, when we were kids, and obviously our parents, he was a tour guide to take us through the wild, wacky world of the World Wrestling Federation and
WCW.
And WCW. And, because there are times where he was goofing around, he's dancing. Like that little clip that you see with him dancing with Dusty Rhodes, that's one of my favorite, like little loops of Mean Gene. Because he's just having fun. And then when he has to get serious, someone tweeted the other day, because I remember one of the things that really scared me when I was a little kid was when Earthquake attacked Hulk Hogan and quote unquote broke his ribs. And we don't know if Hogan's going to be able to come back. And Mean Gene is reporting on it. And all of a sudden he's trying to hold back tears because he's talking about how Hulk is actually a friend of his and all. And it's just like, you get caught in and he brought you through the ride.
Yeah.
And like you said, Gabby, the interviewers, no one does that in any sport. It's not just a wrestling thing, and it's sorely missed.
Yeah.
It is one of those gifts that you did not realize was a gift until it's gone. And I hope in a weird way that his passing makes WWE or other wrestling companies kind of realize that and kind of alter the roles of the Kathy Kellys, of the Mike Romes, of the Gabby Lorens and the Wow Women of Wrestling.
Well, they actually let me have personality there.
Good.
So it's fun.
There you go.
Yeah, because I feel like it's in WWE. There's no personality where you're like, oh, well, but I really like. I mean, you like these people. Like you're not like, oh, I don't like that person. I hate that person. You're like, I like them, but you know, I know there's a real person behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
the only one you get to see is really Renee Young. You know? Like that's really it.
A little bit. But it's even so, it's nothing like Mean Gene.
No, definitely not at all. No. Yeah.
She has a little bit more flexibility because she's been there forever, but I still don't think she's much of like she's not a character. She still comes off as a reporter backstage. The nice thing about WoW, though, is in the past when we've recorded stuff, they always gave me creative freedom. They gave me a script, but I was always able to like edit it. This was before Access TV. So I could do what I wanted with it. I can improv a little bit, and I didn't have to stick to a script completely. And I like that because it actually gives depth to each person and your interactions with the wrestlers, especially with like wrestlers that don't have much experience on camera on a mic. Like in order to get their personality out, you have to play with it a little bit more because otherwise they're not able to shine because they're nervous. Right. You know, WWE is a little bit different because they put their people through like training camps and stuff to do interviews. Yeah,
but I also feel that every time you watch something on like WWE.com or like on Twitter, those like they do show a little more of their personality, and even the wrestlers in those interviews are way more entertaining than I feel like anything we see on a Raw or SmackDown sometimes.
Right. I mean, wrestlers, of course, but interviewers,
But I feel like it depends who's interviewing them, but who they're interviewing. Like if it's a New Day promo, like they always try to involve whoever is interviewing them.
And really like try to get the personality going, laugh, have fun. Yeah, absolutely. Moving on, Usos versus The Bar. Non-title match. If the Usos win, they will get a title match. Never been a fan of this concept.
I was so shocked when this match was announced. I was like, oh, I thought this was a new start, man. Like I thought we were going to something different. But they shocked us.
Oh my! Well, first off, holy crap! This match was amazing. I mean, this was textbook tag team wrestling. All four of them, just perfection. I mean, really, this was like as close to a perfect tag team match as you can get. And in typical, though, textbook WWE fashion, non-title match, the challenger is going to win and earn their title shot. However, we are intertwining storylines, people.
I know, I didn't see that coming.
And all of a sudden, Jimmy Uso is waiting for the tag from Jay. Mandy Rose's music hits. She shows up, and we get to play Christian's Closet, everybody. First Christian's Closet of 2019. And all it involves is a simple towel.
I was going to say,
it's just a bath towel. That doesn't normally happen.
And a white bath towel.
Did you see what happened after backstage? She took that towel off.
And she was in her regular gear. But when you have the woman that makes Corey Graves' heart skip several beats.
Did you see all the hate Corey Graves was getting last week on Twitter?
Why?
Because he like jokingly wrote like, "Oh, hey Mandy, you have my number. Send me a text too."
What's wrong with that? He's playing his character.
Exactly. Everyone was like, "He's married. Why is he doing that? That's ridiculous."
You know who else is married? Jimmy Uso.
Yeah, but Jimmy's not like adding. He's not encouraging.
But
this.
it's the character. Calm down,
but is it really?
I don't know.
Again, most of the interviewers and commentators are themselves. They're not even really characters. I will give it to Corey Graves. He does a little bit more than the rest of the team, character-wise, but still.
But yeah, Mandy Rose showing up in just a bath towel.
Like that picture she sent the week before.
Like that pit, yeah. But this time she was out in front of the crowd. First off,
what year is this?
For a second, I thought it was 2001.
Yeah, I know. I was like, "Where are we going to?" Here?
And she was asking if her gold shorts and top, if she left them at Jimmy's. Jimmy's distracted. He gets knocked off the apron. neutralizer by Cesaro. The Bar wins. Usos do not get a tag title shot. We can cut the music now. But I thought it was so unique. And then on top of that, then all of a sudden the Miz comes out. And the Miz comes, I don't know if the timing was off, but Miz comes out, and you see, I don't know which Uso it was, but he runs past Miz because he knows he has to get off camera. And you clearly see him. And then Miz comes out and he's like, hey, me and Shane want to challenge you guys to a tag title match. And the Bar is looking like, what? This is ridiculous. Bro kick. And they're like, we accept. This is going to be easy. And so all of a sudden, from this, Usos still have a feud with the Bar. Mandy Rose and Naomi is now exponentially more important. And Miz and Shane have a match with the Bar. All this happened in one segment, which is great.
This is how you do it.
Yes, exactly. Loved it. Loved every second of it.
That's why SmackDown is the best. I mean, it really is. They know how to interweave things and make it all make sense in the end. And we're not like, wait, what just happened? Why is the Miz out here? Why is Mandy Rose out here in the middle of this match? Just all worked.
Yeah. And then in the back, Naomi confronts Sonya and Mandy, and they brawl.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this was great.
Did Mandy fall at the end? Look like she slipped on the towel.
She might have slipped and tripped. Well, because I mean, Naomi was in her good. Sonya gave her a sick kick that kept Naomi on the ground. Jimmy eventually gets there, and Mandy,
that's where he was running to.
Yeah. And
What
Mandy
kind of savior is Jimmy? The way he approached Naomi was just kind of ridiculous, if you ask me.
He was like, get away.
He was just
get away.
Yeah, and then he looked up and then went back down like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be back with my wife.
Well, because she's
he's
a
in love with
WWE
Mandy Rose.
and she's a WWE superstar. She
Is
can
he
get up.
getting like
She can get up.
distracted by Mandy Rose? Is this
Yeah,
working?
see?
Can
Obviously.
you blame him?
I mean, yeah, Naomi's beautiful.
She is.
Yes, she is. But can you blame him?
No.
Okay.
Yes. No. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Quick promo with Charlotte. Talking about Carmella was last year's hottest thing. Becky is this year's hottest thing. Charlotte's been the hottest thing for the last 4 years running. Bow down to the queen. All the three promos were short, sweet, and delivered. I liked them. Quick Daniel Bryan promo. Talking about how AJ attacked him from behind. He's simply attacking me because I'm the champ and he isn't. He'll never take the title away from me because I'm fighting for a cause that's bigger than anything he's ever fought for in his entire life. And Daniel Bryan starts yelling and going nuts. Daniel Bryan, like Psycho Sid, with like a little bit of heel Bret Hart. It's just like, what is this creation that has been made, and where has it been?
He's been waiting like 3 years to get back in the ring.
Oh my God!
You know what I mean? Like, how many times is he riding up and down the road going, I could do this, I could do that? Just thinking, putting it all together.
Backstage, Miz and Shane. Shane's like, what did you do? Miz, I did what you said. No, you didn't. Miz is like, no, you said we should step up to our challengers. Like, I said we need to challenge each other and scout and prepare. We are not ready. And Miz is like, well, if we're not testing ourselves against the champs, then what's the point of this? And Shane's like, you're right, Miz. Let's get those tag team championships and prove that we are the best tag team in the world. I don't know why my voice went down like that. But, so it's happening. And Shane's like, do you really think we can win? Him is like, oh, yeah. Do we really think they can win?
I don't know. I mean, yes and no. I mean, they are, the best in the world when you put them together.
I don't.
You know, I think either they win, they keep the belts for a month, lose them. Then I think this is definitely going to be a WrestleMania match. I think that's where we're heading for this.
Oh, it's clearly going Miz and Shane for Mania.
Yeah. Yes, I think we're going that way. So it's like they win, they lose, Miz attacks them.
Will it be Shane and Vince versus Miz and Miz's dad? Or Shane or will it be Miz and Vince against Shane and Miz's dad? Can we do that?
I'd be all down for that. Man, if Scott was here, he would have just went nuts for that right now.
Yes, he would have.
I mean, it probably won't happen again, but I would love to see Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn against Shane and The Miz.
Oh, have Shane with Miz instead of Daniel Bryan. So feel like they would win their titles and keep going and actually have a legit run as the tag team champions.
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be fun.
I just don't. I mean, I don't want them to win. I do, but I don't. It's kind of a real,
I don't want them to win.
because there's so many other good tag teams.
I want
on
Shane to get
SmackDown.
pinned and then Miz blame Shane.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah,
"There's our
essentially,
chance."
I think if they do lose, it really like makes a better story anyway.
Sure.
But
But I think they also.
you never know.
It's WWE. They like the shock factor of like, oh my God, Miz and Shane are now tag team champions of
Yeah.
SmackDown. Like, we'll see what happens.
Main event: Becky Lynch versus Carmella versus Charlotte. They gave this nearly a half hour.
Good.
Yeah, and I mean, I really love the fact that they gave Carmella the spotlight to remind people that she can hang with the best of them. And Carmella looked, I mean, we knew Becky was going to look great. We knew Charlotte was going to we've seen what they've done the last several months. Carmella, we really haven't seen a whole lot of the last 4 months or so because she hasn't done a lot, as far as wrestling wise.
Yeah.
But she showed that she belongs in this title picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. She won Mixed Match Challenge, so.
Yeah. But all goofing around and doing a bunch of
Yeah.
dancing. Like here, we're wrestling.
Yeah.
And I mean, eventually Becky gets to win with the disarm her. So she becomes #1 contender. But I mean, all three of them. Charlotte's moonsault to the outside where she misses and kind of lands on her feet, but kind of falls over with that. That is such a scary attempt to do because your knees could go out like that.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Like every time she does it to the outside, I get nervous.
I mean, and I think, she's so athletic. It'd be amazing. I don't know if she could do this, but if she lands on her feet instead of like falling backwards, like does like a back tuck,
Handspring?
A back
like,
flip?
hamstring, yeah, like-
Handspring.
and then like lands, like comes out on her feet, like, oh yeah, I missed, but I still was able to stay on my feet. Would be amazing if she could do that.
Then it looks too gymnastics like, I feel.
No, but I mean, she just happened to miss them. Like she just was off her mark.
But in order to do like a handspring, then you would have to have landed and then use your hands backwards on the ground to then pull yourself with momentum back up standing.
Yeah.
So I just feel like it would be like too excessive of a move.
It probably would be. I'm just saying.
But maybe like a
she
flip or
doesn't-
something
she doesn't,
after.
She doesn't do it all the time. I'm just saying that like.
Put a trampoline at the bottom.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just kidding.
And well, then after Becky wins, Asuka comes out. They have a stare down as SmackDown goes off the air. Was Becky talking in Japanese back to Asuka? I thought she was. And it's just
Maybe.
like, oh my God. I cannot wait for this match. I cannot wait for Becky and Asuka in a one-on-one match.
Yeah.
'Cause we haven't had that, have we?
I don't think so.
I don't remember it.
No, because Asuka was on Raw, and then
Right.
when she came to SmackDown,
SmackDown, she
it
feuded with
like-
Charlotte.
Yeah,
So I don't think we've had it. And I cannot wait for it.
yeah. I mean, I like where we're going. I don't know what's gonna happen, which I love.
Yeah.
I love being surprised or not knowing what's gonna happen.
Which right now on SmackDown, we're getting quite a bit of that.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah. Good
I like it.
developments as well.
Yes.
It's a good way to start.
It is. Great
2019.
way to start 2019. And we also have quite a loaded wrestling wrap this week. So,
Oh, yes.
so let's hit KO's music.
Did something happen today?
Well, that's some. I think there's a few
got to
things.
that.
We have a very loaded wrestling
That's it,
wrap.
exactly. But one thing that I do want to bring up, because we've been going back and forth over Twitter, so if you guys keep up with us, you know that the conversation started a few days ago between, myself, my co-hosts, on the topic of WWE Mae Young Classic athlete Priscilla Kelly pulling a stunt at a recent suburban fight pro wrestling in LA that garnered a lot of attention, to say the least. The wrestler took her used tampon, I'm putting that in quotations visually, and shoved it into her opponent's mouth. The match was in December, but a clip went viral after WWE star Gail Kim shared the moment on social media. Now, Gail Kim took to Twitter and said, "I'm seeing this post of a women's match that got disgusting, and I'm not gonna repost it because it's seriously a disgrace. Why? Whoever thought that that was a spot and that was gonna get a pop, it was worth it? No. How about telling a story in the ring with your wrestling instead?" And then Jim Ross tweeted, "Embarrassing." And then another weigh-in came from actor turned wrestler David Arquette when he told TMZ that he didn't like it, he said, "I just hope it wasn't real. It's not my style." And then another Priscilla Kelly hater was WWE Smackdown Live head booker, The Road Dogg. While many were disgusted by the act, a few people showed support for the ballsy move, including Rebby Hardy, Taz, Tommy the Dreamer, and our own Christian Rosenberg.
Thank you for putting me in that category.
We'll get to that in your opinion. But Kelly thinks the stint is being blown out of proportion due to sexism. However, the wrestler did grow up in a strict household. She wasn't allowed to go on dates, apparently, or be open about her sexuality. So what I want to know is this a pushback on her part because of her strict childhood, or does she really just feel confident in her own skin and wanted to do something different? What do you guys think?
Well, I got a few minutes to rant on it, so I want go first because I got a lot to say about this.
Have we all, like, it's wrestling? Like, we've all been watching wrestling for how many years now? Like, we've seen a lot of crazy stuff happen on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, involving the owner of the company, the COO, the CEO of this company, like Katie Vick, huh?
Sure.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't. It was one spot. It's whatever.
Right.
I don't know. Whatever.
Should I go now? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
I've been waiting for this, actually.
Do we need rage music for you?
No, I don't need a rage. KO music's fine. So there's a few things. First off, it's not a plea of whether or not you should like it or not like it. That doesn't matter. If you enjoyed it, if you didn't like it, whatever. The fact that so many people are talking about how, it was so vile, disgusting, it was insult to wrestling, insult to women's wrestling, all that stuff. That's the part that I don't understand. So first off, what is the name of the wrestling company again? I'm sorry, the name's slipping my mind.
That they were performing out?
Yeah.
It was
I want to quote it.
Suburban Fight Pro Wrestling.
So Suburban Fight Pro Wrestling. So their concept, their show, they had no wrestling ring. So every match was essentially a Falls Count Anywhere match with no ring. There's only so many times someone can go through a table or get thrown up against a wall. If you want your spot, your match to stand out, you have to get creative. Have you seen any other clips or heard anything else from this show other than this moment with Priscilla Kelly? No. So point number one, she made herself stand out. That was the moment of that entire show.
She made the company stand.
Right. Secondly, I mean, you kind of talked about it a little bit. There's so much in shock value, but eventually in the world of wrestling, it turns to the norm. You mentioned Vince McMahon. He had the whole kiss match. He would literally pull his pants down, show his bare ass on national television, and shove other men's faces in it.
And also, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
How many times did he make out with another talent? You know what I mean? Like,
so along with that,
he was married.
along with that, there's the classic story of Kurt Angle being wooed by ECW, goes to a show. It happens to be a show where they crucify Sandman. And Angle, being a religious guy, leave. I'm not going to work here. I'm not doing that. Well, guess what happens within a couple years on Monday Night Raw? One of the most classic Raw moments is The Undertaker crucifying Stone Cold Steve Austin, and we look at it as a classic moment because it turned into the norm.
We're not like, oh my God, that was ridiculous.
Mick Foley's most dominant move for the last 20 years has been to pull a sock out of the front of his trunks and shove it in people's throats, men and women. You have Joey Ryan, whose career has been having men and women grab his penis, as well as opens his trunks, takes out an unwrapped lollipop, throws it in his opponent's mouth, thus kicking it. You also, you have all these different things in the world of wrestling that people laugh at. Oh, it had shock value at first. Katie Vick's another one. Yeah, shock value at first, but then it was like, it was entertaining. But what is the one main thing that I had in common with all of them? Everyone I just named was a man. All of a sudden, you have a female do the shock value thing. Do something about...
No, there's also a clip of Mae Young and them delivering
a
hand from many years ago.
Which everyone has laughed about it. But as far as like a young, attractive, active wrestler doing something... Oh, this involves hygiene. This is a bizarre item. Because it's a shock and out of the norm... people are outraged. However, if other women started doing it, it could become norm, but there's such this weird double standard that I don't understand why that is in wrestling. Now, on top of all this, now this may or may not have been part of Priscilla's plan, but her booking rate has just tripled. And along with that, because when you're on the Mae Young Classic or the Cruiserweight Classic, different events like that, you have the hype for, between 6 to 12 months of, okay, this person was on this show. But eventually, the hype starts to wear down, your booking rate's going to start to go down, and you're not going to be as popular. Well, all of a sudden, something like this happens, and all of a sudden, her rate's going to triple, her merchandise sales are going to skyrocket, her Twitter following has exponentially blown up, and now it's up to her whether or not she may input different things like this in her matches on a more regular basis. Is she going to do this on a monthly basis? Not trying to make that as a joke, but it's something they could do.
Come on, man.
Or there could be a thing where she every week all of a sudden she tries to do it and something different comes out of her trunks. Who knows? She has the choice of doing that. The point of this is she should not be condemned. She should be applauded for taking a stand, not backing down and not apologizing for it, being proud of what she's doing, and the world of wrestling should embrace it. You don't have to be a fan of it. You know what? It's an art form. Look up John Cage music. Tell me if you think it's music. Some people do, some people don't. But it was an art form. And that's what she was trying to do, and I salute her for that.
Okay. Well, I really love your perspective on it, Christian, I have to say. In my opinion, I think we're in a time of this whole Me Too movement, and people are very, very opinionated, and because of social media, it's been taken to a whole another level where everybody has an opinion and everybody feels like they are right and their way is the way. But here's the thing, everybody's gonna look at this in a different way. Everyone has their own perspective on the situation. I'm not saying I particularly like watching a segment where a woman is pulling a tampon out of her vagina and then shoving it in someone's mouth.
I'm not telling people they have to like it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying you are, and I agree with what you're saying. But I don't think you need to hate on it, because at the end of the day, it's a storyline. She did what she wanted to do for her own creative and her own character.
The other wrestler in the match went along with it. It's not like she did this and the other girl was like, "Oh, wait, what are you doing right now?"
Yeah,
Like,
it's not a real a used tampon.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing is that, like, we've seen a bunch of storylines throughout the history of wrestling, like Christian brought up, where the lines have been blurred between respect and morality and values. So you can't really have an opinion on this and not have an opinion on that other stuff. And at the end of the day, to your point, Christian, if Priscilla stands by what she believes in and stands by what she did in that match, then that's all that matters, because she did what she wanted to do and what she felt was right for her character and her career.
Yes.
And all we can do is either watch it or not watch it. But at the end of the day, you have no right to tell somebody what they should and shouldn't do.
Definitely.
Amen.
Yes. I know.
Right.
I know that went a lot longer than planned. So we got to wrap. Go through these quick. I warned everyone that was going to be a long one.
Yeah, I know. All right. So next story is Hulk Hogan returned to Raw, which we mentioned, to honor the Mean Gene Okerlund last night. The legend passed away last week at the age of 76. What do we think about WWE bringing Hogan back to pay tribute to Gene, a widely popular sports entertainment interviewer known for his time in the WWE? Are you happy? We kind of touched on it earlier.
We kind of touched on it a little bit.
Do you want him to, be more present?
No.
Okay.
That was good enough.
Good. Gone.
We're good
Bye.
and gone. Okay. All right, next story. All Elite Wrestling, AEW, a new force manned by former superstars Cody Rhodes, Brandy Rhodes, and the Young Bucks, alongside Shad Khan and football executive Tony Khan, his son, has been creating a lot of buzz lately. The promotion should feature Jim Ross and Chris Jericho in prominent roles, and a website, Raja.com, reported that there are other WWE employees and contractors that AEW is going to pursue aggressively when they are legally able to. And so it doesn't actually mean that it's only wrestlers that they're going to be pursuing from WWE.
I mean,
that could be producers, writers, whatever it may be.
It's a matter of, again, we would need a lot more time to go into the details on it, but Chris Jericho is there. Pac is there. Britt Baker is there. Billy Gunn is there as a producer. They are really building something that we have to keep our eyes on, because it is changing the landscape of all of professional wrestling in a good way.
Right, and I know we were talking about it before we went live today, but Christian brought up how these guys have way more money behind them than WWE even does.
They do. They have more
Right.
money than WWE.
And you said Shad Khan is worth
It's like over $6 billion.
$6 billion, where Vince McMahon's around $2 billion.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but it's not 6.
Or so.
Yeah.
It's
Close
certainly
enough.
not. I mean, he's a billionaire, which ain't too shabby.
Yeah, it's crazy. So the first show is going to be Double or Nothing, and that is set to take place at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas on May 25th. So what I want to know with you guys is, will you be going to the show? And
Yes.
who might be the most shocking signee you think that will come to AEW?
No.
Yeah, Tom Connolly. The answer is Tom Connolly. We got a
see
Kevin
it-
Owens.
see
We
it
got to
Starcast.
wrap stuff up.
Okay,
Yeah.
the last thing I'm going to say is rumors are swirling that KO will be inserted into the Royal Rumble for the Intercontinental Championship match at the upcoming Royal Rumble event. What do we think about this
In
potential
the IC title match,
Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens idea? Would you guys be for it?
I
What do
would
you feel?
love that. That's a surprise.
Yeah.
If it almost turns into like Ambrose as an open challenge and out comes KO,
Oh, yeah.
I'd be all for that.
Yeah.
I think that would be a bit better spot for him than surprising entrant in the Rumble itself.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, you guys heard it here first. Make sure you comment and answer our questions that we had in the wrestling wrap to state your opinion in our comment section below on YouTube so we can all engage in the conversation. Thanks.
All right. Yeah, we want to know all your thoughts on everything we talked about on SmackDown and the news and the wrestling wrap. And of course, if you want to say hi, you can do that too. And you can chat with us on various forms of social media. Tom Connolly, where can they reach out to you?
Find me on Twitter and Instagram at TomTheCom. Also, check out Connolly Central on Etsy. We're going to be coming to Starcast
There you
and
go.
WrestleMania. WrestleCon, be there.
Gabby.
Tables booked.
Ooh. All right, guys, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Gabby Loren TV. That's GABBYLOREN TV. And on this Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be broadcasting again on Shein, doing their live stream. So download the Shein app on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store.
And follow me on Twitter at Roy Rosenberg, Instagram, the Roy Rosenberg, persontees.com/Christian Rosenberg, colornobobrand.com, promo code Rosenberg saves 10%. And for all your other AfterBuzz TV news and gossip, follow them on Twitter at AfterBuzzTV. Thanks so much for tuning in. For Tom Connolly and Gabby Loren, I am Christian Rosenberg. We'll see you later.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.